caution, turn 4.
Man,
There in the midst of it sits Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch, the 2 leaders.
I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe Tony got a little loose all at once.
Kurt Busch, the 2 will go straight to the garage, Jerry.
I'm worried about you. I'm worried about that car.
That was Greg Zipadelli, Stewart's crew chief. And the strongest Chevy and the strongest Dodge in Daytona are wrecked.
Let's watch it. I don't know if Kurt got into the back of Tony or not. Let's wait till we get around here and see. Tony's car Tony hit the apron. He got down on the apron. He got a little bit loose. Kurt was all over the back of him, and there he goes.
Watch the O-line.
Yeah, watch the left front tire. Gets it on the apron just a little bit. You see the car wiggle, and he gets loose. He's got to probably lift out of the throttle a tad. And here comes Kurt. Cannot get off of him. They make contact.
And once Tony gets sideways, nowhere for Kurt Busch, the 2 to go.
What a shame.
You're doing 185 miles an hour, Darrell. The car in front of you suddenly loses several miles an hour of momentum. Was there anything Kurt Busch could do to avoid Stewart?
No, you could see he was trying to get down. He was trying to get underneath Tony to get away from him. It wasn't possible. He did everything he could do. You have the throttle. And that's all it takes.
We had a good run on the 20 car, bumped into him a little bit, and we both got taken out of the Daytona 500 off of my mistake. So I hate it for my guys. They work real hard at putting together good cars, and our sponsor Miller Lite, and everybody that's involved with the team. We're real poised for a good run towards the end here, and we just got bottled up, a bunch of guys sliding around, and I made the first mistake. So I apologize to the 20 car. I know it doesn't help any. He's been a great friend at all these restrictor plate races. So we'll dig out of this, and we'll be back next week in California.
A 4-car jam session that we've been watching for a lap or 2 has ended up with Kurt Busch in the wall. In the number 2, he was racing with Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and younger brother Kyle.
That was predictable. I mean, these guys were not cutting each other any slack, and they'd been doing it for a number of laps, and it was going to happen sooner or later.
This was coming off turn 4.
Now, Tony had already passed Kurt a couple of times, and he passed him back, and this time he just didn't. Kurt tried to come up in front of Tony, and he said, we're not having any part of that.
Yeah, there was not a lot of give and take right there.
Not at all.
Denny Hamlin in the midst of that as well. Isn't this about the 3rd time, at least the 3rd time this year, that those 2 cars, beginning at the Daytona 500, have crashed together?
Here they are racing each other pretty hard, and you see Biff run in there and bump the back of Kurt. Now, Kurt gets a run underneath Tony Stewart here, and he thinks he's probably got him cleared, or at least he needs some room up. Ain't going to happen. So as we watched this, we almost knew that was going to be the result.
Like you say, Darrell, they've been this group of 4 right there. They've been going at each other for several laps,
and they were running great. I mean, they were running the top 10. All those cars were.
Yes, from 8th place on back. As they're looking at the damage to Stewart's car, Kurt comes up to offer his opinion.
And guess what? They got the 2 car.
parked for the day.
Meet me at the Oval office, please.
Kurt, what happened on the racetrack and then on pit road?
You know, pit road was just me stopping there to make a point and only making the situation worse, so that was my fault. But out on the racetrack with Tony, you know, we raced 10, 15 laps side by side. He didn't give an inch, and I was making sure that I stayed off of him because earlier in the day, he tried to wreck us at 2 restarts. So I'm not sure where he came from today. It's really confusing on that side of it. But he did get mission accomplished. He wrecked us, and I have no idea what it stems from. So tough day for us and our Miller Lite Dodge.
Friday, NASCAR lowered the boom on Busch, docking him 100 driver points, 100 owner points, plus a $100,000 fine. The points dropped Busch from 11th to 17th in the standings. Today, Kurt Busch starts 27th, and Marty Snyder is with him.
And, Bill, this has certainly been the big topic this week here at Pocono. First of all, Kurt, your reaction to the fine, was it fair? And did you think you'd be sitting at home this weekend?
Well, you know, I regret my actions and what happened on Monday's race. And, you know, the incident was out on the track, not on pit road. And so I didn't mean to jeopardize anybody's safety, and that's something that I've talked to J.D. Gibbs and Coach Gibbs about, as well as Jason Lee, that crew guy. So, the points and the money, it's what it is. We just need to work hard and gain some points back this week, and we've got the next 20-some-odd races to gain those points.
What's been the reaction from the peers in the garage area? We're going to let you go be introduced. How about that?
You need to go do that? All right.
Yeah, you need to go do that. We'll catch you on the other side. How's that sound, okay? Kurt Busch has to go be introduced because he's up next. Now let's go to Matt Yoakum, who's with Tony Stewart.
Marty, owner Richard Petty has a long-standing rule against drivers racing against his teams. He goes, I don't mind if you beat up on each other, just don't beat up on my equipment. But what happened on pit road was into a whole different chapter when you throw a crew member involved. And talking things over your buddy Casey came with Smoke, looking to what happened last week, did the penalty fit the crime in the Busch incident?
I don't know. I mean, Kurt's a good guy. I mean, he's been catching a bunch of crap this week, and it's heat of the moment, and it still doesn't mean it was a good deal by any means. It still was a bad deal, but that's what makes him such a personality in this sport, and me too. I mean, I've done things worse than what he's done, so it's we all get through it, and we're back racing this week, and I'm glad he's still here. I mean, I know there were people that wanted him to be parked for a week, but I think this week caught his attention a little bit, and like I said, I just maybe he got the picture that he's racing guys a little harder at wrong times of the race, and maybe this week gave him some time to think about it.
And now Kurt Busch is done with his intro, so we'll finish our interview. And Tony just took up for you. That had to make you feel good. Where does your relationship with Tony stand right now? Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we're okay with things. We're racers. We're both champions, and we both know what we had to do to get to this point in the sport, and we'll both move on from this. So we just need to give each other some more room out on the track, and things will be cool.
You raced for one of the most respected men in the garage area, Roger Penske. What did he have to say about all this?
We had some conference calls and had a lot of people in on it, and we're trying to put our arms around the problem exactly, and that stemmed from out on the track, and we don't need to compound the problem any further. So we're putting this behind us, we're moving forward, and he's got the team behind me 100%, and we've got 100 points to go gain, but yet we've got more to do that. More time is ahead of us, and we just need to get ourselves locked in the chase, and we'll be all right.
Have a lot of similarities, but there's a car in trouble, the two, I think. Can't tell where it started. Something, I think he ran over something, though.
Somebody he's got all kinds of problems. And the red flag is out.
He ran over somebody. I knew he did, or somebody ran over him.
Don't do anything. Don't worry about it. I know you want to. Don't worry about it. It won't do us any good.
Look at the right front on Busch's car. And remember, our last race of NASCAR on Fox, we had this going on at Dover, Delaware between these two guys.
Well, I know that I know Kurt said he wasn't feeling well, but this isn't going to help him any.
The thing I disagree with, totally, what a mess here. The thing I disagree, Kurt Busch took it out on the 20 car. The guys that work on that 20 car had nothing to do with what went on the racetrack.
I think Tony was trying to exit his car to go over and talk to him, but I think there's something
the season begins. Let's have a look here.
Serious case of bump drafting that went bad, I think. Tony's trying to squeeze by on the outside right there. There's not enough room, and he gets into Kurt. That's what Kurt's upset about.
Last year, the Daytona 500, they had the two fastest cars.
And two teammates tangled. Look at that, the 11 and the 20. There they go.
And Stewart and Busch ended up in a big crash that took both of them out. And one or the other of them probably would have gone on to win the race absent that. Yeah, there just was not enough room left up there on the high side. Daryl, I'm not real sure good how your car's driving, but how about if we call it a night?